Hi, and welcome back. I'm Philip, and we will continue the Let's Win XCOM Long War series that I've been working on. Where it has been a while, for me, at least a couple days. And, yes, UFO landing site, sectoid autopsy. Sorry, I don't want to wait in the global view because time passes a little faster. And I might be talking for a while. I wouldn't want that landed UFO to up and leave. So, what do we have here? Sectoid autopsy is about to happen. Thermo generator, arc thrower, satellite, council report, 18 days, workshop. Alright, we've got 100 cash. Significant amounts of power, workshop coming online. At the end of the month, we'll have enough scientists to build our next laboratory below the first one. Do I want to dig in anything? No. Do I want to build anything? Maybe. Alright. Looks like our soldier rotation is gonna give us plenty of experienced soldiers, though we should probably take some rookies. Maybe not on this next mission. Landed UFOs are full of aliens. I think it's almost guaranteed that you'll fight multiple alien pods at once. Sometimes 2 or 3. So, take your... it's funny, but yeah, you want to take an experienced crew. At some point, I'm pretty sure the smaller landed UFOs are actually easier than the terror missions and the council missions, but I think at the beginning of the game, landed UFOs, except for the smallest, are pretty intimidating. Let's look at our ships. Okay, we've got our 5 interceptors ready to go. So when it comes to money, I guess I'm saving it to get a containment facility. Although I'm tempted to buy another arc thrower. Yeah, I'm just gonna buy another arc thrower right now. Sure, I don't have anywhere to put the aliens, the live aliens, but capturing their weapons can give me a lot of options later for either money or research.
Contact detected.
Alright, this is a scout.
Contact detected.
Looking at the thermal. I don't know. We shall see. As always, I like to carefully select my crew. My thoughts for a strategic point at this point, I mean in this episode, not totally sure. I just needed to jump in and play. So let's focus on the tactical mission. First off, what do we have here? A couple of corporals and some squaddies. Okay, I'm gonna want a rocketeer. These infantry and this medic will do nicely as a core. So we'll do the infantry. A gunner to landed UFO is great. Rocketeer. And let's just, scout. Engineer. We have 2 infantry, so that's shotguns. Let's bring a scout. Okay, so for the medic, we have Revive. Allows medikits and first aid kits to revive critically wounded soldiers at 33% of maximum health and with 1 action, instead of just stabilizing them. So if you have the Revive perk, when one of your units takes lethal damage and is lucky enough not to instantly die, they'll go into a 3-turn countdown where they'll be waiting on the ground for you to revive them. If you have this perk, when you use a medkit on them, they actually get back up with an action, and you can retreat them, and you can actually heal them, and then you can use them for the rest of the mission, which makes revive incredibly useful. Also more useful in long war, because when a critically wounded troop loses 15 willpower unless you revive them with a medikit or a first aid kit, in which case they only lose 5. Whether you have this perk or not, that's how it works. So in the original XCOM, you always took 15 will points, and just someone going down once, it was almost like you should just leave them on the ground, because when you use them again, they were going to be 15 willpower points shorter, which is like a quarter of their maximum willpower ever. So just serious hit. Maybe it's more like a fifth, but still. It was such a damaging penalty to let one go down. So this not only does long war ease that particular pain, but with this perk they can get up and actually attempt to find cover or whatever. So this is really important, especially later in the game, when you have a bunch of experienced troops and losing one is a matter of 30 missions worth of effort. Let's see. Hollow targeting. Shooting at or suppressing enemies confers 10 aim to all allies' attacks. Always useful. Nice on a medic whose ability to contribute to the combat is often kind of low. And smoke grenade. Smoke grenade is a different perk now than it was. It of course gives you 1 free smoke grenade that you don't have to carry with you. But it also says if you have taken this perk, throwing a smoke grenade as your first action does not end your turn. So kind of like bullet swarm, smoke grenade swarm. If I gave this to my medic, I could, without moving him, throw a smoke grenade and heal someone next to me. Or I can throw a smoke grenade and shoot. It's just an incredibly useful perk, especially because it applies to all smoke grenades that you are carrying with you. So while he automatically gets 1, no matter what's in his pockets is, if he takes 1 or 2 more smoke grenades, of course I'll want a first aid kit or a medikit, but if he took more smoke grenades, then he could throw those at the beginning of his turn and still take his actions. So I find smoke grenade to be highly useful. And at this point, revive, smoke grenade. I'm gonna go with smoke grenade. I would like to be... Smoke grenade is more of an active ability, and I can use it all the time, as opposed to revive, which is a niche ability, which you can only use in reaction to a really bad thing happening, whereas smoke grenade might actually prevent that. And I'm just gonna try and be... I'm gonna try and be on top of my game enough that the smoke grenade will help me more than revive will. Later in the game, I'll want to have someone with revive on every mission. Note the engineers in my personal mod, the tactical sense overhaul of the perks. Engineers can also take revive, but they can't get they can't get field medic. So if they take a medikit, they only get 1 use out of it, but they can still revive people with that perk if you need them to. All right. We have an infantry, both infantry are ready to level up. We'll do them last. Here is, we want a Rocketeer, because we expect so many aliens, and this is the only character that could possibly bring rockets. Note he has good aim and high willpower, that's desirable. And of course, we really want to nail all our rocket shots, so we're going to give him aim to keep that scatter low. And here we have our choice between sniper and scout. So I said I wanted a scout. One of the few, since it's a landed UFO and you haven't seen a outsider yet, you won't understand exactly how disturbingly nasty outsiders can be And one of the things they really like to do is go into Overwatch and murder you. However, a sniper wouldn't be bad either. When I look at the crew I'm bringing, two infantry and a gunner is a lot of mid-range firepower. I may want to bring shotguns, but I could have a really steady line of battle backed up by the medic, Rocketeer. I don't have any forward people like scouts or assaults coming with me, so maybe just having one forward troop, one like advanced scout, like, is kind of dangerous. I like to send 2 or 3 at once, like an assault and a scout, or 2 assaults. I like to have a whole squad of advanced troops like that, the kind that speed ahead of the main firepower. Having just one, I feel like, endangers them because they can't back each other up. So I'm tempted to make this one a sniper just so they can be in the back and safe. And it looks like I can just take a whole ton of shots. So yeah, we're gonna make this one a sniper, I think. Oh, speed and willpower. Nope. Scout. Oh, whoa, whoa. We're gonna go with scout. If her aim is only okay, then that tips my hand. So what do I want you to be? In this case, our scout's going to be focused on popping grenades. Give you the nice scouty blue. Oops. Yep, can have some of that. And since we've got a scout and a gunner, executioner, so assaults and infantry share 2 columns. Close combat specialist, which I've said before is a little buggy in long war enemy unknown, not enemy within. Extra conditioning, which we gave to our assaults last time, and executioner. For my first couple infantry, I'm gonna take executioner because of how just amazingly powerful it is with bullet swarm. Or let me say useful. Now, do I want to equip these guys with shotguns? With a gunner and a scout, I think and since I'm tackling a UFO, I think I will take shotguns on both of these. The scout should let me advance with the shotguns, and the shotguns are incredibly useful against outsiders. And of course they do a lot of damage.
Strike one. Prepare for landing.
Generally, I like infantry to have rifles a little more than I like them to have shotguns,
So that's where we're going.
but I'm willing to roll with it.
HQ, this is Big Sky. We are in position and awaiting further orders.
Roger that, Big Sky. Strike one, you are green to deploy. Approach with extreme caution. Current enemy status at the site is unknown.
This one might be bigger than I thought. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, so we thought about our squad composition already. We've got a bunch of frontline troops and 1 advanced troop. Who will we move first? First, let's look at where we want to go. So, this is obviously part of the UFO. And the best approach to a UFO is up towards one of its unopened doors. That way you can get on either side of the door, get your troops ready, go into Overwatch, and then you can have a nice breaching action without aliens from the corners through the force field seeing you and ambushing you. Plus the diagonal walls that you can take cover behind always sketch me out because I'm afraid the game's going to bug out and let someone shoot me. So we don't have a sniper to place, so everyone's going to be moving up together. And of course, we always like to stick to the side of the map. So I think this approach might be nice. That being the case, let us move our scout here. Now remember, our shotgunners will need to be close to the front to do anything. What we're gonna do...
Look sharp, enemies rolling up.
Yes. Just trigger a pod, and then decide what we're gonna do. Now remember, we're saving our Rocketeer for last because he can likely make mincemeat out of one or two of these guys. Interesting placement of that one alien. Seeing as how rockets won't be all that useful inside, well, let's see. Good, good. We're glad to have this shotgun this close. Unfortunately, there's no good cover for this character. And they each brought a smoke grenade. Oops, I should look closer at their items. So we're still gonna save our Rocketeer for last. We're gonna see how the random number generator does for our character shots. Alright, so now note he's down to less than half health, which means our aim just went up by 10%. I might like him to go into Overwatch, however. %. And of course we have our gunner to suppress whoever's left. Definitely going to suppress this guy since our chances of hitting him aren't that high. Going to pop a smoke grenade. And of course, because I'm throwing it before I move, that means I know where I can place my medic so that he benefits from it. Although I occasionally find smoke difficult to work with. Where we're putting him. Let's try and finish this guy off with our scout. Okay, good, because I wanted to save the shotgun for Overwatch. I wouldn't like these units moving all that close to me. And we're gonna put this guy into Overwatch as well. Try and save the rockets. I was afraid something like that might happen. Now remember, because he's suppressed, his accuracy is penalized 30 points. Okay. So, alright, head in the game moment. When things get this complicated, you have to take a step back, look at how many things you can do, and how many things you have to do, and then work your way out. Don't just randomly fire a rocket or freak yourself out. What we gotta do is we have to take out this guy behind us. And what we'd like to do is prepare ourselves for these guys incoming. Now the smoke is going to make a defensive action a good idea. Unfortunately, we have extra smoke grenades. However, getting rid of this guy behind us is first priority, and we have to think about what is best for that. If I could drop a grenade, I could just rocket him and be done with it. But when I see all these troops up here, I think I would much rather have a rocket in their faces. A grenade from our scout would be excellent to clear cover and probably let an infantry take him down. Alright, lots of us can see him. The only grenade we have, oh, there's one on our medic. And there's one on our scout. Unfortunately, we would be out of cover if we got close enough to throw a grenade on him. These guys aren't bunched up enough to make a rocket all that great of an idea. And the smoke grenade is actually... yeah, and our shots aren't that great. So we're just going to go ahead and blow the smack out of this guy. That was one of those let's not fool around moments. We don't want to lose a character just because we wanted to save a rocket. Rockets are cheap. Experienced soldiers are not. So this guy is suppressing us. He decided not to take a shot, so he's suppressing this character. Let's see. Grenade would lower that character's cover. Who do we want to act first? I'd probably like to throw down another smoke grenade up here, closer to these two heavy covered trees. Advance a little bit. Take some nice close shotgun shots. I'd like to use my Scout's high accuracy to get a flanking shot on this one out in the open floater. I'd like to save my gunner. I'd like to use my infantry efficiently. That kind of leaves my medic as the one who's going to help start off the festivities with this thing. So let's get rid of the high cover that's going to be closer to our enemies than us. Let's get rid of all of it, that is. Okay, and now I'm no longer suppressed. I couldn't remember if damaging a unit that's suppressing you stops the suppression. Now, I could take 2 shots. My shots aren't so good. I might like to advance better. No, this will be perfect. Alright, because it's always a good habit. Move your scout first if you're afraid of Overwatch. And I'm always afraid of Overwatch. Now, I want... So I'm still taking it slowly. I'm still just taking the one step at a time and then reevaluating my options. I still have smoke grenades I can throw out. Only my medic's whole turn is used up. Where will I position my gunner? I'm just very methodical, very slow. And that's how we work through these really intense situations. Okay. This might be where the smoke grenade goes, and we hope it covers everyone. And if we throw it there, we can move our gunner here at least. And now we're really glad we have those smoke grenades, and lots of them. Now the gunner is almost a guaranteed kill on one of these normal floaters. 5 damage is quite likely. He doesn't have to flank to do it. He doesn't need a critical to do that. And of course we like to use his suppression, especially when there are this many enemy troops. The scout is a great candidate for shooting that. Definitely going to take this shot, the best one we have at the moment. We'll want a little bit of Overwatch, possibly. He still has 2 actions. One of them can be to take a pot shot that, if it hits, is likely to kill this. And then we have to decide smoke grenade or Overwatch. And at this point, I'm not totally sure. Let's see what our scout can do. Oh, maybe I should have taken that shot first, and then his attack would have been 10 points more accurate. What's the gunner saying? I have a 73% chance to not have to deal with this enemy at all. Or I can suppress a different one. Let's try and take him out. Now, none of these guys are going to be able to flank us unless they do their blast off jumpy thing. So I'm going to try and protect my people from their laser shots. Tempt them to suppress me. It's easier to deal with. Tempt them to even jump, since they often don't pick great cover. Ugh, he says as they pick perfect cover. Okay, a lot of non-lethal actions. Really, that's pretty optimal. Okay. We're really unhappy to be flanked by this guy. I don't want to waste another rocket on him. Okay, so this enemy isn't floating, he's actually standing out in the open, so I have really excellent crit chances against him. Notice our scout can't see the floater back here, which means that that floater can't see him. And if this floater moves, he won't be in heavy cover. So our scout, also since we're in smoke, he won't get the plus 50% critical chance against us for being flanked. So it could be worse. My priority at this moment is to make sure this guy wastes his turn, who's suppressing me, and to kill this guy on the open since I have such a great critical chance against him. And I have some powerful troops to do it. Also, this guy could just suppress the one back here, and whether he's flanking us or not, his chance to hit will be really poor while I move in on him. So that's what we're going to do. Our smoke is going to be around for a while. We're just going to take some pot shots. Perfect. So our scout is out of ammo. We're going to suppress this guy. I'm going to move one of my shotgunners down. What will I do with you? We're going to move the medic a little bit away from this flanking guy, put him in Overwatch. I'm going to send this shotgunner down here. It'll be a great way to get rid of this covering character. Put him into Overwatch. And we're just gonna tuck him away with a little Overwatch. Let's see what this character does.
They're falling back.
Decides to hunker down. Alright. A lot of damage. Do we get a shotgun Overwatch? Come on. Hopefully he can't flank any of our characters. Oh, he can. Bad news. Whew. Lucked out. Alright. Could have been a lot worse. Definitely left ourselves open and might have deserved to get seriously burned out. I mean, get one of our characters somewhat murdered. Okay, this character hunkered. But hunker doesn't apply once you flank someone. $85. Definitely no one better to take the shot since I will still get an action. Executioner, of course, helping there. What do we have left? Of course, we have to kill, or at least suppress, this enemy. Since it's hunkered, that's going to be really difficult. So we're going to suppress it. Send him into Overwatch. Our scout can try and take the shot. With a pistol. Nope. And let's move this guy into cover against the only enemy left. Hopefully nothing too horrific is gonna happen. So that was unfortunate. Alright. Whew. Aliens. Okay, first off, let's look at what our Rocketeer can do. Because this is what I need to have happen. Okay. This guy's not going to be useful on the front lines anytime soon. We are, of course, going to take the pistol shot. And then we're going to look at where we're going to move him once the situation calms down. The medic, obviously, we'd like to move back some because of the potential of shooting a rocket up right next to where he is, and because we'd like to get him within turns of healing this infantry up so we can put him on the front line safely. The gunner is out of ammo, is going to be useless this turn, so moving him back is probably a good option. We have one smoke grenade near the front. Probably going to use that. So we're obviously going to shoot a rocket in the middle of these guys, because that's the only way our kind of harangued squad is going to manage. We can move this guy into heavy cover back here, that seems likely. And we're going to wait on the scout. So let's get everyone behind this log, is pretty much the answer. I'd like my infantry closest. I'd like my medic in the middle so we can heal people on either side of him. And I want my gunner right here. And of course he has to reload, so that's his whole turn. Now this character is going to be really exposed. If I shoot from here, he'll be flanked by probably the remaining aliens. I definitely don't have enough actions to take him out, so really I'm not going to shoot my rocket this turn. I'm going to move him into a much better position to fire his rocket. And that position is right here and hunkered. Okay. Let's throw a grenade here. See where the smoke lines up. Now we can move up and toss a grenade if we were going to be really offensive, but since we had to reload and all that jazz, we're going to move here. We're in the smoke, so even if they flank us from the right, we're not going to get completely murdered. So we have light cover no matter what. And we're going to reload. We're going to pray for the best. And instead of going to Overwatch, we're going to take a shot at this guy. Excellent. Try and thin down the odds. This character, just going to pop in heavy cover and play it safe. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did not think that was possible. So that's at least a 5-point willpower penalty.
They're trying to flank us. Is that all you got?
I'm taking heavy fire over here.
Okay. This is definitely where we want our rocket. Did this guy get shredded somehow? Not sure. Okay. So we at least got rid of his high cover. The scout can actually flank this whole thing. Turnabout is fair play. We don't have to revive our soldier just yet. And we'd love to make use of this character if we can, though it doesn't seem all that likely. The one we can't deal with is this one behind the tree in heavy cover. He's got a shotgun shot. He could probably kill this character, or this floater, but then he'd be out in the open, so we'd have to make sure we were killing off everyone else. I think the most reasonable action is to shoot the suppressing enemy with a rifle, of course. Now, if we'd taken the revive feat, which unfortunately we didn't, we took the smoke grenade instead, we could raise this character up from their dying state to actually firing once this turn, or at least moving into cover. As is, we're going to be happy to kill this alien, we pray. So let's move a little bit closer and shoot for the 5 extra accuracy. There's nothing for this guy to do. Except go into Overwatch with his pistol. Maybe if this floater advances, that pistol Overwatch will make the difference. And then suppress. I'm actually going to suppress this closer unit so that he doesn't get into a flanking position, because the other guy can't flank me, I believe. Oh, good. Oh, that wasn't very far back. But whatever, he missed. That means this guy's turn is pretty much screwed. Character is still going down. Okay. The scout is well positioned to deal with this enemy. Hopefully. Very sad. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And remember, I can still move back and heal this guy next turn. That's what I have to do at this point.
Hell, I'm out of firepower over here.
Going to suppress him. We're going to advance. Take our shots. We'll be flanking him next turn, assuming more aliens don't show up. We're going to start moving this character up to where he can contribute. Maybe this alien will... Woohoo! Okay, last turn, we have to move back here and heal this character.
Come on, hold on.
Okay, now if I'd had the revive perk, he wouldn't just be lying there, he would get back up, and I could use him for the rest of the mission. Okay, this guy can actually get shots on the one behind the tree. We're gonna wait to see if we can injure Okay, not using the pistol, of course. We're just gonna take shots.
Damn it, enemy is still alive.
We're gonna see if we can flank. And make sure that's not a bad idea. Totally ready to pull back if more aliens had popped out. We can suppress him again this turn, right? Yep. So we're gonna keep advancing. With him suppressed and us in any kind of cover, we're about as safe as we can get, even though we only have 2 health. I'll take a 40% chance to end this. Okay. Whew. And now we're gonna prepare to heal up and advance next turn. That was a lot of enemies. That was 3 pods of floaters that hit us in a pretty nasty wave. So we're gonna just take a turn to reload, get everyone prepared. The gunner especially, reloading him can, because he only has the one option of firing, a reload for a gunner is like mandatory. You can't switch to a pistol. Note that our medic is completely out of ammo on both his pistol and his rifle. More important than that, however, is allowing... We'll move our gunner up since he's most ready for combat. Here we're going to get our medic and our remaining infantry together. So having one unit go down in that fight...
Don't move. You'll be fine.
Oh, I didn't bring a medikit. Oh no. Oh no, you guys probably saw me doing that when in the loadout screen, didn't you?
Good to go.
Man, I did not pay enough attention to loadout this time. Since there are no aliens on the screen, we can move into no cover and reload safely. What's left? Probably just the outsider at this point. Maybe one more pack. We're gonna bank on being able to take out the outsider without anyone else going down and needing stabilization.
Need a resupply.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that?
Probably the sound of outsiders doing horrible things inside this UFO. Rocketeer. Definitely a subpar unit without his rockets, but I can use all the help I can get. Our scout and our gunner are gonna keep their eyes open for additional aliens, and our infantry can now safely advance. Gonna move them up here. If I don't see any aliens, I'll move closer to where our shotgun can do wonderful things. More Overwatch. I'm gonna advance. Okay. Getting your infantry to within shotgun Overwatch range of a door is really nice.
Roger that. Scanning.
I'm gonna set up my gunner here. We're gonna skimp on Overwatch to make sure that to make our breaching entry likely. I just feel like there's less possibility of being ambushed at this point.
Eyes peeled, Commander.
And
We're green to go.
positioning will help this next phase go faster. Okay, I do not open the door until my whole team is in position. The walls of the UFO are excellent cover, so once I finally get close to that, I feel so much safer.
Come get some.
These positions, not on edges, are very safe unless there are enemies out to your right, left, or ability to flank you. Because you have heavy cover on either side, very restricted line of sight. And of course I'm not going to open the door when all my units have no actions left. I'm going to open it right now.
Our readings can't be right. If they were, that's a being of almost pure energy.
That looks like the primary power source.
Okay.
Of the craft.
So now you see the very powerful outsiders. Normally you have to face them earlier in the game, often with rookies. But since I haven't been able to shoot down a UFO, I have the advantage of approaching it with a couple kernels, shotguns. And fortunately, they're really aggressive. So I will be able to get a shotgun shot flanking on it first thing. Note that they heal 3 hit points a turn, in addition to having 8. And the light plasma carbine, I say carbine, I'm gonna have to ask what the right term is, that it carries is enough to one-shot your guys if it flanks you, guaranteed. And we're gonna go ahead and use our scouts' incredibly high aim to finish this puppy off. With the rookies, that's basically what you do to take out an outsider. You kill everything else, you move up, and you flank it, whether you're standing in cover or not, with 3 rookies, and just pray for the best. Okay, so we lost 5 willpower on 1 troop. In exchange, we're going to look at what we got. Remember, there's no council giving us a reward because this was just a landed UFO. However, assaulting landed UFOs does reduce panic, which is a bonus. Our 1 corporal is out for 30 days. Could be worse, I guess, but and lost 5 willpower, so that's kind of sad. Infantry are always useful. Fortunately, he had high willpower, so I guess I can just erase that plus, and he's probably back to being just your average soldier. We have 2 sergeants, which is excellent, one of which will be back in 6 days. And 2 new corporals. All in all, fairly successful. Oh yes, we captured a live power source, an alien nav, 10 floater corpses because, oh, yes, Illyrium, alloys, weapon fragments, flight computer, yes. Okay. We did good. It was definitely worth it. And I'm just gonna stop here. We'll see about selling stuff, see what we do after the sectoid autopsy. We'll have our arc throwers coming out shortly, and we'll be able to start talking about capture. That would have been a great opportunity to capture an outsider, or at least its plasma carbine, but we didn't have an arc thrower yet. Probably on our next mission we will, I hope. Alright, so, little scattered. I definitely didn't pay enough attention during the loadout phase, and I didn't bring my medikit. I had a first aid spray instead. Luckily, I left smoke grenades on my infantry, and that paid off in spades, because without it, we would have got murdered. As is, we still had some serious damage to one of our troops, but when you fight 3 squads of floaters back to back to back and you keep getting flanked, that is actually fairly light damage. So little shaky, but turned out quite well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next episode. Take care.